Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a tutorial on the look I have here. I know I just posted a tutorial on Friday, but I don't know why I didn't film this look. It got a lot of love on my Instagram, so yeah, if you want to see how I got this, then just keep watching. Okay, so I'm starting off with the Alamar Cosmetics Reina Del Caribe Volume 1 palette, and I'm dipping into Cocoa Taxi on a big fluffy brush from It Cosmetics, and I'm just buffing this all into the crease, and I'm kind of blowing out this color. I've been really into blowing out all of my crease shades recently. Then I'm taking Guantanamera on a Luxie brush, and it is so pigmented. So I'm just tapping off the excess and starting to build it on the inner and outer corners of my eye. I'm starting by packing the color and kind of blending it and back blending it into the crease and in that area. I find it's easier to work with a little bit of color at a time rather than a big chunk of color. And I'm just going back in again until I get the desired amount of pigmentation. I want it to be pretty dark on the outer corner and inner corners of the eye since this is a halo eye. And I'm just making sure I blend that up into the crease to mix with Cocoa Taxi. Then I wanted something a little bit brighter, so I'm going in with the shade Tropico, and I'm just packing that on top of Guantanamera. I wanted something brighter, and I just feel like just a little bit of Tropico is what I wanted and needed, and I feel like it looks so much better with it. And then I'm going back in with Cocoa Taxi, and I am just blending those three shades all together. Now for the star of the show, this is the Colourpop and Kathleen Lights Super Shock Shadow in the shade Telepathy. And I'm just taking that on my finger and putting it into the center of my eye, and it is so crazy pigmented off the bat. So I'm just packing most of it onto the center and then kind of blending sort of into the inner and outer corners. I'm gonna blend that stuff away soon. So I'm taking Guantanamera and Tropico, and I'm just taking that same Luxie brush, and I'm blending and back blending so that these shades meld into one seamless eye look. Then I wanted something a little bit deeper, so I took Cafecito and I put just a little bit of that on the inner and outer corners. I wanted just a little bit more depth to the look. I feel like it was a little bit one-dimensional this way. So adding this, I really feel like pulled the whole look together. But again, this shade is super ultra pigmented, so take the smallest amount and work with it before going back in and getting more, because you really only need the lightest touch with the shade. I'm going back in one more time with Cocoa Taxi and just blending it out. And then I'm taking Telepathy on my finger again and just intensifying the absolute center of the lid. Now on to the face. So I'm taking two Colourpop No Filter Stick Foundations in Fair 07 and Fair 30. Fair 07 is a little bit more neutral, and I needed the pink undertones from Fair 30, so I've been mixing these two together on this beautiful Luxie brush. And it is actually my perfect shade. The Makeup Forever one I've been using is just a little bit too dark for me because they don't have anything with rosy undertones that is that light, but this is just perfect. I love the finish of this, and it really lasts so well. Then I'm taking the Milk Makeup matte bronzer in the shade Baked, and I am just bronzing up my skin a little bit. I love this bronzer because it's super natural looking. Like, you can blend it away to almost nothing, but there's still just a little bit of color on the face. And so I put this down before I'm going to put powder over it. I'm taking that same Luxie brush and just blending it out. And look at it, it blends to nothing, but it just gives you the littlest bit of tint. It looks so beautiful. This has been my go-to bronzer lately. Then I'm just taking my Real Technique sponge and just blending everything together. Then I'm taking the Tarte Creaseless Concealer in the shade Porcelain Sand, and I am blending that under my eyes. I start by using the smallest amount of product possible and blending the area where it's at, and then blending it up near the eye bag, because I find that that's the way I get less creases. And this concealer is super thick and super hydrating, so the less creases we can get, the better. Even though it says it's creaseless, it's obviously not creaseless, it just creases so much less. And I'm taking the smallest amount on my forehead, my nose, and my chin, just to kind of highlight the areas of my face. Then I'm taking the Colourpop No Filter setting powder in the shade Translucent, and on my sponge I am just setting my under eyes. I tried doing this because I wanted to keep most of the dewiness from the concealer, but just set the areas where I have to. So then I went in with a brush and I set my nose and my forehead and my chin as well. Then I'm taking the Smashbox Ablaze face palette, and I'm first dipping into the lighter bronzer shade and just setting the Milk Makeup bronzer. I'm literally just like sweeping this over to get just a little bit more color out of the bronzer. And I'm taking the excess on my nose as well. Then I'm taking the top blush from this palette on a Luxie brush. This is a stippling brush, so I'm taking the smallest amount possible, and I'm almost barely not touching my face because it is a very bright color, but I want a nice little wash of it. So I find that using this technique where I'm almost not touching my face with the brush, that it gives off the right amount of color, that it looks so pretty even on my super fair skin. Then eyebrows. Wait for it. Oh yeah, I did that. Then we're going to finish off the eyes. We're taking all 4 of these shades that we've been working with. First I'm taking Guantanamera and Tropico, and I am just putting this on my lower lash line with this really cool Royal and Langnickel brush. And I'm putting this really close to my lash line. Then I'm taking Cocoa Taxi, and I went a little crazy here. Yep, I went a little crazy. So I'm fixing that by taking some translucent powder on another brush and just cleaning up around the edges so it doesn't look so crazy. And then I'm taking Cafecito just on the inner and outer corners just to make that kind of halo effect. And then we're going back into Telepathy with that same brush and just pressing a little bit of it on the lower lash line. Now I didn't know which eyeliner to use, but I decided to use the yellow one. This is the Colourpop in the shade Punch, and I'm putting it just on the center of my waterline, just to give Telepathy a little bit more of a pop, so you recognize that the middle of the lid is a yellow shade, and I think it looks so good together. Then before I do anything else, I'm setting it with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, my favorite. And then we're gonna put on mascara. This is the Tarteist Lash Paint Mascara, one of my favorites. I haven't used this in a long time, but I love how it looks. So I'm just applying 2 coats of this mascara to my lashes. The first one just to build up how I want my lashes to look, and the second one just to give it a little bit more of a black feel, because this one is not the blackest mascara, but it is definitely the most beautiful, lengthening, volumizing. So there's one with and without, and these are the finished eyes. Now I need some lipstick, so I'm wiping off any lip balm I have and taking the Nudestix Magnetic Matte in the shade Blossom. And I have used a lot of this, so I'm just putting this onto my lips, and I start by drawing a little bit on and then blending it out with my finger, because this is a very thick formula and it is very matte. So I find that this is the best way for it not to get really crackly and drying on my skin. and I just love it. I almost forgot highlight too. I almost turned off the camera, but I wanted to go with the Persona Cosmetics Zuma highlighter. I'm taking just the smallest amount because it is a little bit too dark for my skin. So when I take the smallest amount, I just get a little glow. I don't get too much of the pigment from the actual highlighter, and it looks so pretty. So I'm just taking that on the tops of my cheeks, my cupid's bow, and my nose. Okay guys, that completes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!